Okay, and we're live. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the opening ceremony of KodeCamp 5.0. I don't know if anybody is excited. If you are, you can actually just use the chats. You can just use the chat, say hello, say hi, just drop a comment if you're ready for this for us to kick off. Well, we've already kicked off actually, so let me just see some comments. Can say hi, hello, yeah. Okay, great, 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 great. Okay, someone said irregular. Okay, that's a weird comment, but well, I'll take it. It's in the comment, so it shows that you're active. Okay, good evening, everyone. So we'll just get right into it. But before we go ahead, just a bit of a ground rules, right? Um, so I would love for everyone to pay attention, right? If you need to speak, right? If you need to say anything, if you need to ask a question, please raise your hand. We do not want people unmuting themselves and, interrupting the session, right? So at any point you have a question, you can also ask in the chat. There are persons available to respond to you, right? But if you request, if you actually want, to speak, right, please do well to raise your hand. If for some reason you drop off the call and you join back, please pay attention and be sure that you are muted. It's very, very important. So you try as much as possible not to disrupt the call. I see someone is probably testing the raising of hand. Well, that's fine. I just test it, but we're not going to be taking questions now, right? Do well to use the chats, right? Then also, of course, we are also live on YouTube, right? So if for some reason you want to switch down to YouTube, that's also fine. If you have persons who need to be on this call, I think this is a very good time for you to invite them and tell them we have started. We're also on YouTube, so you can actually share the link with others, get people to join so that they get to know that we have kicked off. So welcome once again to the opening ceremony of KodeCamp 5.0. Some persons are new, some persons are old horses, right? But a better way to actually start anything is to introduce and talk about what that thing is, right? Knowledge is power, the famous saying, right? So we're going to be going straight into the session where we get to talk about what CodeCamp is, what is it all about, why do we even do it in the first place, right? And that understanding is really going to help you to know why we do what we do and why we are not the same as any other bootcamp. We are actually not the same. We stand out, and it's something that we are proud of, but something actually make us actually have that, strength and feel that way, right? So in the next session, I'm going to be calling on none other than the managing director of Code House to take us on that session, to introduce CodeCamp to us, how it all started. And in fact, I'm just going to leave it for him to take over. He's the managing director of Code House. Code House is the reason why we have CodeCamp, and he's going to, of course, he'll just do the introduction and tell us everything. He says it much better than I will ever say it. So please, can we give a round of applause, right? You can clap. Come on, let's use our emojis and everything, and let's give a round of applause as we welcome Engineer Lawrence Akue to take us on to the next session. Engineer Lawrence, if you can hear me.
All right. Yeah. Can you see me with my?
Yes, yes, we
All
can.
right. So, and you can hear me.
Very
So the first
clearly.
thing is for me to share my screen. So, I hope I'm allowed to share screen.
Yes, yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, confirm when the.
Yeah, we can see your screen. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here. I want to, take us through this, first session. Of course, we need to talk about why we are here. And I wish to welcome everybody. Congratulations for those that's registered. You might be wondering whether you are joining the court or something. So it is proper that we do the introduction, so you get to know what this whole thing is all about. So CodeCamp actually, you would have seen, of course, you registered now. So the invitation, you see 5.0 all over the place. It simply means it's actually the fifth edition. Let me put off my camera so that I can manage my bandwidth. You know, we are still using 4G, so I don't joke with the internet. All right, thank you. All right, so this is the fifth edition, meaning that we have run this for 5 years. So celebrating 5 years of building the scale economy. This is actually our catchphrase, you know, building the scale economy. Um, Now let's start. Okay, why are we doing all these things, right? If you look at Africa, you know, we have the youngest, population in the world right now, growing, actually growing of the population in the world right now. So by 2050, we are going to have the highest. So the trend is upwards, right? A lot of all the, schools of thought beliefs have actually not been internalized or imbibed, something like family control and all those kind of things. So it's still strange. We are going to catch up, but it's really not happening yet, and that explains why our population is growing. The future of Africa actually, lies on how we are able to harness, this
How many
important.
people are talking?
Okay. So the future of Africa depends on harnessing the capacity and developing the potential of the youth. So you take two examples. The people that are actually coming up in the world right now, challenging the powers that be. Of course, China. What do they have? Population, not just population, useful population. Because if you go to places like Shenzhen, you see what is happening there. They're actually the headquarters of manufacturing in the world today. Of course, all of us know what's going on with the trade war or tariff going on, the whole thing. Um, they are in the equation because they are very, very formidable. In that challenging, the order. When you talk about order, I'm talking about economic order in the world today. India is equally very good. So you could see these are just examples of countries that are actually harnessing their young population. So what are we doing with ours? Let's also move a bit, Nigeria. Nigeria is the most populous black nation. So what does it mean? It means that this trend that is in the first, point, we equally share it because since we are the most populous black nation, it means that we have a lot of young people that are coming up. So the question now is, how do we harness this power? We believe in the conventional system, right? Everybody goes to primary school, knowledge and everything. That's how we, kind of rank or even kind of evaluate people and all that. But there is an issue. The issue now is that the educational system in Nigeria is failing our youth by inadequate preparation for the future. Even for the present situation, not even talk about the future. I'll give you an example. This is very practical. I don't know how many schools currently, is offering cloud computing in the O level. Sorry, in the first degree, HND or whatever. I don't know how many people are currently even know what is machine learning is all about. How many schools are currently offering robotics? So having given those examples, just imagine small me now coming to school and want to say, okay, let us start blockchain technology, for instance. That's a lot because first of all, which department will you put it under? That's a problem we have in Nigeria. We have conventional mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer science. So for computer science is even better. You're going to even struggle because all the lecturers have collected courses 1.0, 2.0, and the rest. And who are you going to displace? Okay. When you haven't finished that one, you now go to the faculty. Faculty will have to meet, faculty board will look at it and everything. When you finish, you go to the school senate. For those that have school senate, some people call it governing council. When they finish and the school has adopted it now, remember that NUC is in Abuja, they have to come for accreditation. See, by the time you guys are doing all this, or by the time we are trying to do all these things, Tesla is building 5.0. Meanwhile, when you started this curriculum change, it was actually probably in 0 point nothing. So And that takes me to the next one. The reality is that the world is moving fast. That's the truth. It's not waiting for you. It's not waiting for um us to change our curriculum and all that. What you're even seeing now is that companies are even beginning to have their research base because the third mission of the university is research. I don't want to go through the mission, university mission, because that's not the presentation here. So this technology, it is shaping everything, the way we live, the business, and all that. So you could see, with all this problem, we actually try to kind of extract solutions from them. So what it means is that from a World Bank study, by 2030, there's going to be like a global demand in tech talent. And tech talent is not the conventional tech talent. You can see what's happening now. Uh, I'm going to come to that point of AI, because I'm sure if I do all this presentation today without mentioning AI, it means that I am living in yesterday. So we are going to talk about it. So this is the problem. So the opportunity is like, we have this young population. How do we make them useful, right? And you can see where the whole idea of CodeCamp came from. So what is the CodeCamp? Okay, CodeCamp is a massive online training program that seeks to upskill Nigerian, especially Nigerian and African youths at scale, to address the growing global demand in skilled technical talent. Skilled. I'm not talking about educated or those that went to school. Okay, because when we are talking about education now, you can see I've given a scenario whereby it is not going to work. Ladies and gentlemen, forget whatever you think, is not going to work. We are still going to be crawling and things are going to be happening fast. So you need to find a balance, and that's what CodeCamp offers. Why might be in school? Fine. You can even be someone that just finished secondary school, still fine. Technology does not discriminate against age. It does not discriminate against gender. It does not discriminate against political affiliation, where you're coming from, your origin, and all that. No. So we have to provide this platform so that we can fill in those gaps. Okay. Now, Code House as a company, we have this. This is our thing. This is our mantra. Outreach. Okay, so CodeCamp is going to be following this, right? So whatever we are doing, it is the company's culture that we're going to be following. We no longer believe in only training, okay? So we start from orientation. Orientation, we are going to, for the first time in CodeCamp, this 5.0, we are going to have this orientation. Orientation is not what you know, it's not come and sit down and listen to motivational speakers and all that. No, orientation is actually a 7 module program. So the DIPOIS that you see there is actually an acronym. This stands for Digital Literacy Fundamental. A stands for Application and Operations. I stands for Information Management. That's data and data as related stuff. P stands for Problem Solving and Critical Thinking, where you're going to be looking at algorithm, data structure, creativity, how you can probably build solution, how you can observe and prefer solutions to it. O stand for online operations, because we are going to move from 4G, which we are operating, some people 3G share, to 5G, to CG. We are going into cloud and everything. You need to know what's going on online. Then D stands for this digital citizenship, which has to do with protection of your information. Of course, the internet is now another continent. You have to be a very good citizen of that continent. Cyberbullying and all that. You need to know, now that you have known all these things, you need to know how to measure. And the last one, very important, is soft skills, because getting to the top is easy. To remain in the top, you need soft skills. Okay, so that's the program. So when we talk about orientation, I'm not talking about one day something. So for the first time, we are going to be having this diapers program. In fact, from Monday, diaper starts. Okay, we are going to run it through. We are going to give a week grace for people to get their, all their devices in shape. Make sure that they have all the digital account that they need. And while they are doing that, diaper will start immediately. The major classes will start the upper Monday. So, of course, we are not going to finish the iPod within. We are going to have it every day. Then, when classes resume, okay, we'll just be having it once every. It's compulsory for everybody. The iPod is not optional. So, while we are doing this thing, we believe that we're not assuming anything this time. We are trying to say, okay, let's take it that these people have not even seen a computer before, because indeed the first one we're going to start with digital literacy, fundamental. What is a computer and all that. So the training now, you can see you have chosen your tracks and everything. That's where it comes in. Is it a general text? Is it a core technology skills? So yes, you can whatever you choose is under any of these. Okay, because this ultimately is actually a larger picture. It's not just narrowed down to CodeCamp. We do a lot of things as well. So within this, we are going to be having mentorship program, office hours. I'm going to come to that very soon. You need to build your portfolio, community participation and networking. Now, let me tell you people what a lot of people do currently. I think a lot of training, there's nothing special about bootcamp, okay, in terms of training. Man, there is YouTube, you can go and learn anything you want to, and that's it. Let's not lie to ourselves. There is the likes of ALX, there is Udemy, there is Coursera. Courses are no longer like there is course everywhere. You look left and right, you see courses everywhere. That's the truth. So what CodeHouse is trying to do with CodeCamp is that this pipeline is something that we are going to sell to the world. Trust me. We are going beyond that because when you learn all these things, you are entering a pool of everybody that have learned some one or two things. That is the truth. You are coming from CodeCamp, another person come from ALS, maybe with a better curriculum and everything. That's the truth. Where do we want to make the difference? You see now, when you move from M to J, that's where we want to make the difference. There's going to be mentorship, and then we are going to give you, that internship experience. Now, we tested it last year for the first time. We have done 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. We started from 4.0 to experiment on this internship. It worked. As far as I'm concerned now, I think it's something that we are going to sustain. Right now, I'm going to show you the statistics actually, but this is just talking about this thing. At the end of the day, what people want is job. If you are not here for a job and you're here for church, this thing, so what is it called? Charity, sorry. Forget it, oh, you are in the wrong place. Everybody that is here is interested in being emancipated financially so that you can become some sort of self-reliant or something like that. So that's the whole thing. To be a local job on-site remote, to be an international job remote or on-site, it can even be your own startup. So this is our pyramid. We have community, or so a lot of you have joined the community. Self-paced, not yet. Self-paced is we have up to several and 60 something videos on YouTube. You can go and learn on your own. But this boot camp is what we are launching today, which is very, very important. And then we are going to go to internship. And of course, the tip of the pyramid is job placement. So see the strategy now. We have looked at this thing. Some people are like, why CodeCamp? Why not other things? See, this is what we have looked at. There are pros and cons of online. I've actually mentioned what the problem statement is. You need to upskill people, okay? Irrespective of what we have tried to do with CodeCamp is to bring down the barrier of space, okay? You don't need to come physically to a class or something. It's an online, but it is not your typical online program. I want you people to know that because this is a hybrid. What do we mean? So there are advantages. That's the pros of online. It's scalable, less cost, saves time, tech savvy, flexible, can all this. But there are equally disadvantages. If disadvantages, if you're not self-disciplined, man, you can lose concentration. You can feel isolated. A lot of limitations are there. I don't want to go through each of them one after the other. I'll give you an example of something that happened to me specifically. There was a program I was following that was 2016. I was following the program, and it was something as with Python. Man, I didn't know. I followed everything, every instruction that was given. I followed the video. I know I was. In fact, I watched that video 5 times. I don't know. Mine wasn't just working. You know, mine doesn't. I tried over. I said I copied every code. I looked at it line by line. After some time, somebody that is more experienced actually discovered that my problem was this configuration of my system. Imagine if the person didn't even come around or something. I am that program. I can tell you, I will be frustrated. I will be depressed because I was dedicated. I was listening. I did everything. It was not working. So the person still need to look at something, go to my doors and do something, and it worked. So this is what we notice. Sometimes when you follow these things, man, it will not really help you. So anybody that's entering code camp, you are challenging yourself to pass through a system that will challenge you. We have different stages. So even though it's online, it is what it is not asynchronous, it's synchronous. You are going to work, you are going to move from state. There's an opening ceremony and there's going to be a closing ceremony. That's the truth. So either you move along or we drop you. You are going to see statistics very soon. I'm going to show you how we fared. So let me start with this. In 2021, we started this whole code campaign. We just did only 3 tracks, only beginner level. We moved to 2.0. We felt excited and we brought in a lot of things, man. We got our hands burnt because that wasn't easy. We had to prune down against, okay, man, let's chill, we now focused on mobile app and web application development and UI UX. If you noticed in 2.0, we even had IoT, we even had a product, so yeah, computer aided design, card and everything. So say, man, it's not going to work. So and this is to show you that we've actually made mistakes, and 5.0 is going to be better. So all through we entered 4.0, you can see we introduced DevOps. So we're quite listening to the market, DevOps and cloud and everything. I'm sure some of you actually registered for that track. At that point, we were able to introduce the 3 levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And these are the numbers, right? In 2021, we had 3,384 people that signed up, and only 186 finished. So brace up for it. It's a free program, but I can assure you it is very, very serious. Okay, you have to have time because at the end of the day, we want you to succeed. 2022, you have 4,127 people that signed up for the program, only 352 finished. And so goes every this thing. So the last call, last year, 2024, we have 3,050 people that signed up, 170 finished. You can see the arrow leads towards internship. So for the first time last year, we said, okay, let us test this internship program because everybody is learning. So what is going to make the difference? You say, that experience, so we equally did a lot of mentorship because you remember Outmage, the M stands for mentorship. For this program, we're going to be having office hours where some of the concepts that I don't understand, there might be a special session for it, especially the difficult ones. See what makes it different now. So you have opportunity of now asking questions, instead of isolating yourself, listening to already recorded videos and everything. All our classes will be live classes. That's the truth. If you miss it, you'll be able to go to YouTube. It will be archived there. You can watch the video and everything. So we don't do recording. So we believe that if we did HTML and CSS last year, man, HTML and CSS might have changed this year. So new slides, new trainer, everything after you are going to attend it is a class. So it's not like that's why I said it's an online program, but it's not your typical online program. So you're going to have calendar, you're going to be following and all that. So within that, you can see some of the programs that we've had: 30 days challenge, algorithm and the UI US, Git masterclass for those that are struggling working with CI/CD framework platforms, mastering remote work, grid capsule, how to communicate, time management, blah blah blah. All these things now are mentorship sessions. So that's one of the things that we offer differently. So for the internship, we had out of the 7 people that registered, 58 actually finished the internship. Remember, 170 were successful, 70 registered, 58 finished in different levels. The program featured project-based learning. It was real life, like you're working. Okay, we even give you. That's why I said is a little. We are trying to pull you up from that pool. Okay, what happens is that you apply, you go through interview. We even give you an offer letter. All right. So you see, these 3 things I mentioned now has already made a difference. Having to go through interviews is another experience. So when you start, you do your daily scrum report every morning and all that. So apart from your technical skill, you're actually building, other assets, soft skills and all that. So we had all these people that, and at the end of the day, we selected 20 people for the paid internship. As we speak now, I'm proud to announce that some of them are even working for. We have a client from America that sent like 3 projects. These interns are on these 3 projects, and I'm really proud of them. And I'm sure some of them are on this call. It's going to grow, it's going to kind of blossom. We are going to get more, and we are serious about what we are doing. We want to build quality. So, code camping figures. This is just like a summary. I've done this for 4 years. This is the 50th year. So, congratulations to all of us. We have done more than 15 tracks. We have completed the 3 levels. We have had cumulatively 775 plus graduates, and we have had more than right now. If I include, we have not included the sign ups. I'm sure we are going to hit 15,000 sign ups. We have had 15 mentors with 50 years of combined experience. If you go to our YouTube channel now, you are going to see 766 videos, very technical videos that would help someone to go through like um, self-paced learning. But of course, nobody is grading you. So the bootcamp is always the best, where you start, you finish, you get your certification. So we have 1,300 hours there, 26 projects have been done so far. We have 12 partners and counting. So we have 100 people that have reached out, and you can see they've gained employment in various companies. So it's growing, it's going to become massive. And I'm going to talk about our job board. Very soon, we are going to launch a job board where people can be uploading their portfolio series and stuff like that. So this is the timetable and this is the tracks for this year. I'm sure most of you will recognize your own track here on the slide front end and all that. So I don't want to probably bore you people with this. You have already identified your track. Class is starting May 2025. It's going to run through June, July, August. It's a 4 months, and even September as it stands. So what is the value? 4 hours of lectures every week, which is 2 sessions. I think the program manager will talk more on this, learning materials, technical, and we are going to be doing grading. Every task we are given will be graded by a human being and not by a machine. We are going to really make sure that everybody gets feedback. You can ask questions, and it's more like a virtual school. You understand? Just that we are not seeing you, face to face. Teamwork experience, employability skill, access to experienced mentors, networking with your fellow techies, building a community, building your portfolio, getting certification, and of course, the ultimate is earning a job. So, what is our vision? Why can't we become a one-stop shop for technical talent in Africa? Okay. So to answer that question, what do we need to be doing? That's our mission. Our mission is to get, discover it, that's admit, and then nurture and deploy. So first of all, this is looking like data engineering, ETL, extract, transform, and load. So I can liken it to that. So the next generation of tech workforce in Africa for the budding era of Industry 4.0. Motto, learn and earn. When we talk about learn, talk about leadership, empathy, ambition, respect, and what novelty. Because of want of time, I will not dabble into each of them. So we started in 2021, and we are still on our journey to developing the skill economy. As it stands, ladies and gentlemen, I say if I don't talk about AI, it means that we have not started. Man, we have level U. I don't know who you are. Then I have level 0, I have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Now you see the AI bar that is on the side. You can see there is a gradient. AI does not affect all the levels the same. And there's no sharp contrast. You know, just that the tip, the head of the this thing is thicker, is bluer in color, and the down is lighter in color. So what this thing means is that, ladies and gentlemen, AI has come to stay. Okay, but listen, um, I don't want you to get swallowed up in the whole. I'm going to show hype cycle in the next slide, right? Oh, is there any need of programming? No problem. There will be no need. Don't worry. Keep on doing prompting, right? In the next 5 years, I bet you nobody is going to hire you because you know how to do prompting. But they are going to hire the person that understands how to code and can also do the prompting. People are not telling you no code, you don't need to do so and do. You need to be careful about it. I'm going to explain it in the next slide, right? So imagine when we used to, I'm sure I don't know how many of you met four-figure table. I met it in JS3. It fizzled out when I was doing SS1, SS2, SS3. Right? So four-figure table is what we used to check log, sine, cosine, and all that. Okay. There is a calculator now. All I need to do is punch cos 30. That's fine. Sine 16. Yeah, I read engineering, by the way, so I understand what calculation is all about. And using that engineering as an example, please let us ask ourselves this question. The whole AI thing is, I would liken AI to the calculator, right? It solves anything you punch to give you the answer, very fast. You don't need to do manual calculation. But let's ask ourselves this question. Assuming you want to build a house, right? And you are supposed to do some analysis for the house. First of all, you need to understand what you're analyzing before using it, even if the tool is AI. So it's just like telling people that you don't need to study mathematics again. There's calculator and it does everything. So you go and do your prompting. What you are effectively doing without knowing it is that gradually you are seeding your thinking to a machine. At the end of the day, why that looks very palatable right now, in future, most of these companies that wants to hire, think about it. If you are the one hiring and you see two people, are you going to hire someone that knows how to do, in fact, is a professional in the whole, AI tools and everything? Are you going to hire someone that, can code and can also do software? Because there's a difference between coding and software development and software engineering. I think engineering better to, you know, break it down better. And also, in addition to all these skills, also knows AI. So if I know mathematics very well, you understand, and I'm supposed to solve the area of a triangle that has two sides given to me, I know that a square plus b square plus ab 2ab plus is this sign. I can't remember that. First of all, I have to know the formula. Then when I go, if I reach a place where the answer is supposed to be plus 30, I now press it with the calculator. That is how we should be taking these things. So we need to be careful. And having said that, you can see if you are in if you are if you are in level one, the AI will affect you very, very well. It has already taken your job. AI writes codes now, in case some of you don't know. If you copy a front end now and just paste it, the thing will interpret the front end and give you all the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. But when you become a junior developer, sorry, I'll move on to level one now. You are kind of creative in nature. If you're a senior engineer, you make decisions as well. There are some levels of decision that AI will not be able to make, right? But the question is that this is like is a paradoxical. Why they're telling you that you can generate codes and everything, how do you now move to this level? And that's what I want people, I want people around me. Be careful because very soon they will draw a line and only the people that are strong enough will escape and enter because of what? They have told you you don't need to read, you don't need to, struggle and everything. AI is writing all the codes. I think my advice to you would be, man, get to the end of this. So with that, let me go to the next slide. So there's what they call Gartner hype cycle, right? Every technology that have ever been launched somehow follows this path. You see, we are coming from the deep, and there will be a hype. You see that tip, you understand? The technology is triggered, and it goes to the peak of inflated expectation. Ladies and gentlemen, that's where we are today, in case you don't know. Oh man, AI, everybody is talking about AI. Hospital, agriculture, everything. That's where we are today. It's not going to remain like that. I can tell you guys that one. Just like remote work, everything that goes up will come down. And after coming down, then we begin to get sense. The coming down is what we call trough of disillusionment, right? After the trough of disillusionment, you can see slope of enlightenment, where people begin to separate the wheat from it. They begin to understand and appreciate, that not everything that was sold in that peak is to be bought. Then you now plateau at the productivity. But it's still an improvement. If you check where we are coming from, where there is technology trigger, to that height, you can see it is some sort of improvement. But what I am warning people that think that is going to remain at that peak, okay, no, that's not how things work, right? And I want to now combine what I call an S curve, okay? There's hype cycle and there's S curve. If you look at this S curve, you see that the height is if you follow the red track, the height is a bit higher because it did not just follow that hype, the attention. It actually remained, and somehow when the enlightenment, you see, somehow you can join the enlightenment and probably even move higher than this thing. Because there will be a point where somebody wants to hire an engineer. You will notice that out of maybe 20 people that applied, most of the people are no code guys. Then out of the 20, maybe 18, it's still two that are special. You wonder, how do these people maintain their discipline and still went through the toughness? They are going to take those people. I can tell you that. So this is what this particular one is telling you, and that's what CodeCamp is selling. Now that everybody is talking, we are saying, go and learn this thing. There's no way you can use calculator without being enlightened in all the equations. You don't even know what you are solving. You need to understand these things. So be careful in what you are consuming today. You can see that S curve, you understand, time is passing, but there's no growth. If you look at the y-axis, there is no visible improvement. But at some point, when you begin to rise, you see that when you spend more time, can I annotate this thing? Hold on. Yeah, I think I can. So you see, at this point now, from here to here, sorry, red pen, okay. You see that from here to here, okay, we are not really increasing, this is like what I call reward, you're not getting the reward. So you remain at this level for a very long time. When you hit this place now, you see, you begin to increase. Here now, you are increasing, and you can see at some point when you make within short time, you are going to make a leap. Look at what they call this is a inflection point. You now have like a giant leap, you understand? So, what is giving you this access is because of the time you have spent in developing yourself. So let's understand this so that I kind of like this combination of S curve and the hype cycle. So having said that, I want to welcome all of you. Now you know what code, you have seen our numbers. You have heard from us why we are doing what we are doing. We made it obvious at the beginning. I want to welcome you to the vision. This is 2025. Like I said, we are targeting 15,000 and we are going to surpass it. And 15,000 doesn't mean sign up. We are looking at sign ups, but we are more interested now in the finalists. So thank you very much. This is all CodeCamp is all about. We're going to interact more as from Monday when the classes start. Thank you very much. Hand over back to Ike.
Yeah, thank you very much, Engineer Lawrence Agwe. Please, a round of applause, please. Let's give him a round of applause. That was actually very informative. Thank you very much. Okay, so I can see a whole lot of you have questions, so please just keep your questions. Don't worry. I'm seeing some persons say, I can't see this channel, I can't see that channel. Just calm down and enjoy. Just get the information you need. Don't allow questions and all that distract you from getting the value that you actually would need, okay? Questions will be answered, issues will be addressed and all that. But for now, I need you all to just focus on getting the information that you need, okay? Thank you very much once again, General Nzakube. Okay, so we'll move to the next session, right? And yeah, of course, a lot of us don't still kind of have a fair idea of what the bootcamp is all about. So I'm going to be taking you through the program structure and expectations, right? Program structure and expectations. How how do we run CodeCamp? Like, how is it structured, right? It's very important you understand this, right, so that you don't because yeah, lack of if you don't have the understanding, it can actually make you or fact, that this understanding can make or mar you actually. So it's very important. So at this time, please, I need you all to pay attention. I'm sure you would have questions at the end of this particular session. Just take note of them. We will take questions. Okay, we'll take questions. Just take note of the things that is not really clear, and then I'm going to do my possible best to address it. Okay. So once again, just confirm you can hear me clearly. I think some persons said they couldn't hear me very clearly before. Just confirm you can. Okay, clear. Good, good, good. That's great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so yeah, so CodeCamp 5.0, right, or generally CodeCamp, right, not really 5.0 per se. CodeCamp Bootcamp is a boot camp, right? For some of you, boot camp is it's most times, if not all the time, is a military word actually, or let me just say sometimes, right? It's I think I the very first time I actually heard the word boot camp, yes, it was used in tech. It's actually used in tech, but I know it from military sense, right? So I'm starting that way, so you get to understand that it is not a place where you get what you like, right? It's a place where you get what you need. You don't get what you want, you get what you need, right? So let me just start. I'm going to break it down into four phases or four sections. So bootcamp is a 4-month intensive bootcamp, intensive, and it's designed to equip you with technical and soft skills. Two things, very important, technical and soft skills. I usually say this to some persons, right? There's this thing we from the university where we say, universities say that you get, when you pass through university, you're certified, your certificate in character and in learning, right? Yes, in CodeCamp, it is in character and in learning. I know some persons on this call, they understand what I mean. Some of you that don't understand, you understand very, very, very soon. So it is in character and in learning, and it is by force. Let me also start now and say it's by force. It's not, you don't have to like it, right? We are not here for you to like us, because we want you to succeed. And if we want you to like us, right, of course, we'll probably start selling ice cream, sending out recharge cards, doing giveaway every time, and all of a sudden you fall in love with CodeCamp. Imagine we are doing giveaways every 2 days. CodeCamp will trend, right? But no, we are not. We don't want to trend for that reason, right? We want to trend for the right ones. So the very first part I'll just talk about as far as our structure is concerned is the learning tracks and stages, right? So as you know, for this cohort in particular, we have the beginner level and we have the intermediate level. Now, let me state this, please, and these are the things you should take note of. Number one sin in CodeCamp is the thought, not the action, no. The thought that you can do 2 tracks at a time. Please don't try it. Don't attempt it. And if you have thought about it, please repent of that thought. We don't allow it in CodeCamp, right? We want you to focus on one. We want you to be a master, right, of one, right, before you now want to master any other thing. Someone says they can't see my screen. Can any other person confirm that, please? Can someone else confirm? Can you see my screen? Is it visible? Okay, we can. Okay, so I think Divine, you may need to probably drop off and join back. Maybe it's your network. Okay, so we don't allow that. So I think that answers the question for those of you who say, can I do 2 tracks? No, 1, right? And let me also still state that if you want to, I would advise that you shouldn't. But if you want to play smart by, trying to somehow you want to try your luck to see if you can still do it, right? Trust me, it won't end well, right? Especially when I find out, when you're discovered, it will not end well, right? And for some persons who know, I like to even leave. I may know, and I'll leave it till when it's almost ending, when you feel like you have made it, like you have been so smart. That's when I will now cut it off, right? So please, in KodeCamp, just one track. We will have another KodeCamp 6.0 and 7.0 as God will have it, right? Okay, so don't worry. So that at least let's say that for 1 year you pick up one thing and you master it. Another year you can pick up another thing and you master it, amongst other reasons why you should actually just focus on one, right? So the learning tracks for the beginner, you have the front end. Now, for beginners, right, front end, you're going to be just looking at HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Right, just a slight introduction to a front work, React, just a slight introduction, right? But it's a beginner. We are very big on foundation, right? In KodeCamp, we're big on foundation. We're not in a hurry to take you anywhere, right? So that's for the beginner level tracks, right? We have the front end, which is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We have the back end that's for Node.js, right? We have the Node.js back end, and then we have UI UX for the beginner. We have the mobile app development track, but that's Flutter to be precise, also for the beginner. Then, of course, we have product management, which is coming back in 5.0. We have DevOps, and we have a track that is making its debut in KodeCamp, which is the software testing track. Yes, if you can see program structure and expectation slide, that is what I'm talking about. So yes, that's the only slide you see. Don't worry, it's not something else. There's no other thing for you to see. So it's just, I need you guys to listen. It was intentional. I wanted to do a slide, but I said no. We need to learn to listen, because of course you're going to actually enter classes, right? You need to start your listening skills now. That's what I told you in KodeCamp. You will learn by fire, by thunder. Okay, so of course for the intermediates, right? We have the React, Node.js, of course, is going to be on the intermediate track, and then we have the UI UX, and of course the mobile development. Now there are tracks that are neither beginner nor intermediate, right? That's the likes of what's it called? Software testing, right? Software testing is neither beginner nor intermediate. So we kind of just put it under the beginner track, but there's no intermediate of it. Just like there's no intermediate of the Python fast API backend, right? And no intermediate for the C# for backend development, right? Yeah, so I think that covers that of tracks, right? And then for stages, so we make use of staging, right? So think of it as as what it is, a stage. So we have our stages run through from 0 to 9 for some of us who, when you actually join the learning management system, which I'll talk about briefly, you are automatically in stage 0, right? And then you move from one stage to another till you get to the final stage, which is the stage 9, right? So now here are just a few things to note about staging. Now, stage 0 is for those of you in the beginner track. Please pay attention and keep your questions, right? For those of you in the beginner track, right, there's going to be a general task for every beginner in stage 0, right, in this cohort, right? So don't worry, it's going to be like the same thing. So it's just a way to get you used to, get you ready and all that. So it flex your muscles, right, and all that. But for those of you who will come in as an intermediate, right? So let me state this also. For those of you who signed up as an intermediate, in KodeCamp, we don't just accept intermediate students, right? Not that let me just say, we don't trust you. Let me put it that way, as harsh as that may sound. So if you tell us that you want to go for the intermediate level, you have to prove to us that you are grounded. So for those who are going for an intermediate level track, you will take a test. Please pay attention. You will take a test, and that test is going to determine if you will be allowed to be in the intermediate level or not. If you ace the test, if you pass, you will be allowed to stay on the intermediate level. But if you fail, you will just be moved to the beginner level of that track. So a typical example for, let's say, Flutter, the intermediate tracks. If you say you want to do intermediate Flutter, we'll test you. There's going to be a task for you to do. If you move past the cutoff point, right, you pass, you stay. If you don't, we move you to the beginner level of what Flutter. Same with UI UX, same with what's it called? React. So if you say you want to do React, right? Someone said from Champions League to Conference Cup. That's funny. So if you register for the intermediate level React and you don't ace the test, we'll send you to the front end beginner, right? It means that somewhere, somehow, you're missing something. You're not as grounded as you thought. And there's no shame in it, guys. There's no shame in it. You need to be grounded, right? You need to be grounded. It's for your own good. So the Python, someone's talking about Python. Please, Python is not just the programming language you're learning. You're learning Python for back-end development. That's fast API. So there's no beginner intermediate for Python. There's no beginner intermediate. It's just going to be Python fast API for back-end development, right? No beginner, no intermediates. Okay, so the intermediate tracks are React, Node.js. So if you say, oh, intermediate Node.js, we'll test you. You're good, you stay. You're not good, go back to the beginner level, right? And please, back to the beginner level is not change of track. So take your time and decide the track you want to do after today. There will come a time where you tell me I want to switch and I will not respond, right? So please, that. So the test, I think I'm done talking about the test. It doesn't matter the track. It's a test. You either pass or you don't, right? You either pass or you don't. So please, I see some questions that I feel like I have talked about. So for those of you who have kind of picked it, you can please just help respond to them on the chat. Some persons are still asking questions that I know I've actually touched, right? Okay, so it is very important that you guys pay attention, right? The test is just for those who register for an intermediate track, and I've listed the intermediate tracks. Okay, so that's just something I needed you to know, right? So I was talking about stages. So that's basically for, that's what kind of moves you from the stage 0 down to the stage 1 and all that. So now moving past from one stage to another is based on your performance, right, in a task given. Now, every task has a cut-off mark. Now, the cut-off mark might be 75. For example, your trainer can create a task for you, an assessment, which is also a part of our program structure. We assess you. We don't just teach and believe that somehow it has entered your head. We have to be sure. And to be sure, we have to test you. We have to give you an assessment, a test, a task. Now, that task comes with a cutoff mark. Like, okay, you know what? Anyone who gets from 75, for example, yeah, I would say, okay, that person did fairly good. He or she can move to the next stage, right? So now the cutoff point is not static. It can change. In fact, let's say, for example, the default is 75. You might get to stage 5 and we move the cutoff mark to 80. You can get to stage 7 and we move the cutoff mark to 85, right? The goal is this: make sure, one of the things I always say is this: make sure that the first submission you give is the best. Just make sure of that, okay? Now, so that's that. And of course, the final stage is what we call the project phase. I'll talk about that, right? So Then for the tools that we use, right? Zoom, we use Zoom for classes, right? So our classes hold on Zoom, right? And every class after it's done, we actually make sure we put it on YouTube. So for those of you, for some reason you missed the class, you can also you can always go to YouTube to pick that up, right? And on YouTube, we have playlists for each track. So you can just go to your playlist. The best thing you're going to do right now or after this session is to just subscribe to our YouTube channel. The moment a class video is uploaded, you'll be notified. That saves you and I the stress of you coming to ask the YouTube link and all that, and then when it's already available. Okay, so please also a few things that's part of Zoom. Well, there are certain things we'll do over the next week to onboard you guys, and certain ethics we will talk about when it comes to classes and all that. But I won't do that here because it's going to be time consuming, right? But at least whenever you join Zoom, please try as much as possible to watch your phone or your laptop or whatever to make sure that your mic is not unmuted and your video is not on. I don't want to know where you are and what you're doing, okay? So making sure when you join, be very, very cautious. Sometimes we can forget, so just try to be very cautious. The moment you click a link to join any meeting, until that link loads and it starts, you see everything, don't do something else. Because maybe just taking your eye off, maybe that meeting, the video was automatic. The setting is that the video is on automatically. And the moment you put your face, we are seeing, you just, the moment, in fact, maybe you're still on your bed or your face is looking so help me God, right? So someone said influencers, are you listening? So please take note of that, okay? Then another structure of KodeCamp is the project phase, what we call the capstone project phase. Now, the capstone project phase is for those who make it to the final stage, right, the stage 9, and only those who make it to the project phase are qualified for certification, which is also part of our structure. Now, pay attention to that statement. You are qualified for certification. I did not say you are certified. You have just qualified for it. So you are now a finalist. Okay? So you make it to the final stage, means you are qualified. That means you can now be part of the capstone project phase. But that does not mean you will be certified. Certification in KodeCamp is for those who are fully committed and engaged in the project phase. Now, the capstone project phase is for everyone. It's not one person do your own thing, right? It is a group of persons from different tracks coming together to build a product. So we know that in groups, there are some persons that just because it's a group, they probably, before you know it, they turn ghost workers. They don't do anything, or they are busy, so other people are doing the work. I know those things. So that's why we don't certify people just because they made it to the capstone project phase. No, it is based on your assessment. We will assess you during the project phase. Does this person attend meetings? The tasks that they give to this person, does this person actually even do this task? Does this person show up and all that, right? After that, then we will know those who will be certified. The truth is this: when you make it to the final stage, the truth is you've actually, in fact, from stage 7, you've actually gained something in BootCamp. In fact, from stage 2, stage 3, you've gained something, right? Everybody, there's no loss, actually, as far as I'm concerned, for those who join KodeCamp. You learn something. There's no loss in it. It's just that what people gain is different, right? And it's all dependent on you. So, so that just sums it up, right? I've talked about the learning tracks, the staging, and then I've talked about the tools. So I talked about Zoom, right? And then, of course, Discord. So Discord for communication and announcements and engagement, right? If you have questions, you can go to your channel and all that. So we're going to have a session to, break down and onboard some of you on Discord. I know it's a tool that a lot of persons don't use, but till we have that session, which is going to be next week, right? You can go to the 4.0 playlist on our YouTube channel. It is actually there. Everything you need to succeed in CodeCamp is actually there. But of course, there are always peculiarities, in every bootcamp. So we will still have those sessions next week, right? Tools of the trade and all that, just to get you onboarded and solve whatever issues we have. We have things like the office hours, right? Office hours those are times where we address people's issues, right? It's just a problem solving time. Tell us your challenge, right? Not regarding your task and all about that. Someone says, repeat the last statement about 4.0. Okay, I said you can go to the 4.0 playlists, right? Playlist on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. I think, Imoli, if someone can help get that. Maybe I think I can. Get that quickly. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to drop the. Let me see if I can get that link for you guys. But when you just go to our YouTube channel, right? You can actually just get click on playlist, and then go to 4.0 playlist, and then you can get that there. And try not to be distracted, okay? So that's that. Now, the last thing is, what do we expect from you? What do we expect from you in CodeCamp? Oh, I'm just going to list a few, right? I'll just list a few that I think you're going to need. I think after that, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Lawrence, and then I'll come back to introduce the team. So here are a few things that we need from you. One is that we need you to show up every day. Yes, every day. Discord should be your new WhatsApp. Turn on the notification. If you don't know how to do it, go to Google and search, or we'll ask ChatGPT, since we're in the era of AI now, right? Go to ChatGPT. How can I keep my notification active in what's it called? On Discord, right? Please show up every day. Very important. Any day you miss, any day you are not on the Discord channel, any day you're disconnected, right? It's going to really, really affect you, right? So try to show up every day. Ask questions. Don't be shy. Support your peers. Submit your work on time. Oh, timing. We'll talk about this soon. And then, of course, stay curious and all that, right? So that's basically that. I know, like I said, I know you guys have questions, right? We have a Q&A session. We have a Q&A session, right? So once we get there, I'm going to address every question. So at this time now, I'm going to be calling on Engineer Lawrence Akubwe, and going to be introducing some of our guests who have joined us on this opening ceremony. Thank you very much. Engineer Lawrence, rather, over to you, please. Yeah, hello, Engineer Lawrence. If you're speaking, we can't hear you.
Let me switch my audio. Sorry, I had to switch my audio. So thank you very much. That was very, in fact, that's the heart of, CodeCamp. Can you hear me now? Please confirm. I'm sure. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I will just call some of our guests. So our guest comes in different shapes, sizes, and forms. So the reason why some of us are having this free is because we have some people that are giving us technical guidance, financial support, and all that. This is a free program. You can see how serious it is. From all ICAs, kind of presented to all of us. So we have a lot of people. They are very, very busy people. So whenever they come in, I'm just going to cut in, recognize, or I or Janebe will cut in, recognize them so that they can, go back to their, very busy schedule. So we have on the call, one of the, I would call it a technical support person from day one. His name is Michael Aku. Michael Aku is currently in Imperial College, uh, University of London. Also, he's a co-founder of Clarion Concept. He's a startup mentor for Founders Institute. Anybody that knows Founders Institute in Nigeria before he left Nigeria. His background is in engineering, and I know he started as a programmer, and the rest, is history. So I don't want to, I think I'll just call him up. He'll do a little bit of his intro. He's better from the horse's mouth, and then he's going to be one of those that will, help sponsor. You can see people are really passionate about all we are doing, the reason why we are here. A lot of people are actually supporting us. So I'll give over to, he's very busy. I think I'll just hand over the mic to him. I think you just, drop one or two messages. I just made sure that some of our sponsors here to brace the opening ceremony. I'm sure some of them will be coming in intermittently. So, Mr. Mike, over to you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Lawrence. Can you hear me? Can anyone call him?
Very well.
Yeah, thanks. Guys, welcome. My name is Michael. I'll just do a brief intro and I'll just share some tips and I think I'll hand over back. I don't have much to say. My name is Michael. Pretty much, like Lawrence said, I had a background in software engineering. But currently, what I do is different. It's more like digital transformation, AI, more thought leadership. What I do now is speak to organizations on how they can deploy digital solutions. Which most of them they are looking forward to how they can use digital solutions to make their processes better and tied to their KPIs. And on top of that, a lot of them are also trying to do things around AI because that's like the new normal now. Basically, I think I just have to say kudos to the team and kudos to everybody on this call. Rome was not built in a day. I'll start from there. And whatever you want, whatever you're gonna learn here, it's not a waste. And I think it's also an opportunity because in life, quote and unquote, nothing is free. If you get something free like this, it means somebody's paying, or some people have volunteered to pay for it. And why I said this is an opportunity for you, and I'll just give a very good illustration. I got a couple of guys in Imperial College who came in on a very good scholarship, and then they were trying to do their master's program. And Imperial College would the masters run for 1 year, and they're doing a lot of Python, and then they're doing the program together. They taught them deep learning, and this is where it gets interesting. Like in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it was very challenging for them. They taught them deep learning in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. A lot of them ran. Some of them that were my mentees, they were just calling me like, "What's all this? What's all this?" And the interesting thing is that they give them very detailed projects as course assignments that takes like 60% of the homework. And most of them that don't have digital skills, they were struggling. The Chinese guys, because a lot of Chinese Korean guys are here, what they do in their countries after your degree, you do 1 year in they call it an IT institute where you learn a lot of those things. So they spend 2 3 years before they come around, they already know a lot of those things. The Chinese guys, the Asian guys are always ahead, things like that. And I had a session with a couple of them, and then I told them, I said, the bitter truth is this. If you really want to grow faster in your career or anything, you must have a digital skill. it doesn't matter what position you're going to hold, right? So most of them that were able to cope are people who had learned something, either C sharp, or they had learned Python, or they had learned web or something. Just the thing about digital skill is that it makes you invaluable to every and any organizations. There are a lot of managers today. Um, there are a lot of managers today who are actually, they are looking for young people. I got a lot of requests even from Nigeria. I mean, managers of top oil and gas company in Nigeria, and they are saying, "Can you recommend young people to us? We want this skill set." Because people study petroleum engineering to get to the oil and gas, and most of the managers are telling me, "Give us a petroleum engineer and someone who knows has a digital skills, Python, C sharp, something around that mix, right?" When I say I know I have a petroleum engineer to recommend, they say no, we want a mix of both, and that's what the market is looking for now. So whether you have a skill, a certificate already, or there's something else you want to do, you are not making a mistake. This is a very great opportunity. And like I said, anything free, some people have paid for it. Over here in the Western culture, you don't get things like this. You have to pay heavily to get even to be trained, and you might not get enough of the training. So guys, take hold of this opportunity that you have now and maximize and utilize it. And CodeCamp has been on. This is like the fifth or sixth time they've been doing this. It's been massive, and you see the statistics about their progress and success. That's what they are doing, and tap into it. Give it your best, right? And at the end of the day, you'll be glad you did. And I'm hopeful that I'll see you at the top. Thank you very much. That's all I have to share. Bye. Over to you, Lawrence.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much, Mike. I really appreciate it. This is coming from a place of experience. I've known Mike for a very long time, so he has seen everything. He started. You hear Imperial College, Imperial, even the English self don't they change. So, but any of you can get to that level, even surpass that level and everything. So, what he's essentially saying is that he didn't get to that place just like that. So, he started off, working, dating his hands, learning all the stuff. And why people might be finding he's very an unassuming person. One talk say he's one of those that are, because powering, because I know Mike, did a lot of, from junior developers, mid-level, senior, and all that. So it's not going to be a problem for him. That what he's trying to tell you that he's now among those, even though he didn't mention Isha. So, but most important, Mike, I want to actually thank you for, accepting to support this call. It's not everybody that leaves the country that tries to look back. I'm sure he's even willing to, we are going to drive this in even to the intern. We are now trying to get all possible collaboration to even in internship level. I have someone that is supposed to join the club. I'm looking out for him. And he's very busy as well. He's currently consulting for a drone company, writing their firmware and software and all that. He started from Nigeria as well. His name of Fide Disotok. A very good friend of mine. He even written a book on drone mechanics and stuff like that. He knows everything from mathematics, physics principles, and all that. So these are like when they talk about core tech, these are core tech guys. So I'll be looking out for him. I'll be introducing very soon when he comes. So why that is we are going to continue, and probably you can give a shout out to some of them at the end, because we don't want to extend your stay here. We have to respect your time and when we are supposed to end. So thank you, Michael. You can actually proceed to the meeting you have. IK, over to you.
Thank you very much, Lawrence, and thank you very much, Mike. Okay, so yeah, two more sessions, or three rather, I think, and then we will call it time out. So it's time to meet the team, right? Yeah, it's time to meet the team. It's time to see the persons, the people responsible for making CodeCamp happen, making CodeCamp a reality, and of course, making CodeCamp 5.0, here. So I'm going to start off with the very first and yeah, In fact, of course, without him, there is no CodeCamp. And he's none other than Engineer Bert Odor. He is the founder of Coders. He is the CEO. He's the senior. In fact, he's the most senior mentor. In fact, I actually don't know how to introduce him. It's only Lawrence that knows how to do that. And yeah, I'll call Lawrence to do that. I think just before the closing remark to introduce him properly. But please, let's give a round of applause to Ijanye Bet Udo, who in fact, like I said, I don't even have the words. I've tried it actually. I've even tried to rehearse introducing him. It has not worked yet. So, but I know my strengths, and I just leave it at that. But he's the founder of Codehouse. Codehouse is the powerhouse of CodeCamp, right? He's the reason why there is CodeCamp. Honestly, if I like a famous saying from Engineer Lawrence, if Nigeria has like 2 or 3 of Engineer Bets, I'm sure we'll go very far. So thank you very much, Engineer Bet, for all you do. And then, of course, the the managing director of Codehouse, who you actually heard speak. Yes, he's also another powerhouse, right? So for those of you who feel like I am too much, trust me, you've not met Engineer Lawrence at all. I'm just scratching the surface when it comes to dedication, when it comes to tenacity, when it comes to grit, like I talk about. I'm actually just scratching the surface, right? This is someone who is a diehard person. It's either it works or it works, right? If it does not work, but the energy must go in, right? And he's the managing director of Codehouse. You're very much welcome, sir. And thank you so much for all you do. And then, of course, I have my lovely assistant program manager in the person of Imoleayo Bisiolu. Yes, she's on this call, and I think, I would want her to say hi. Imole, if you can hear me, just hold on. I think great. Okay.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
So,
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
yes, thank you very much. Yes, so she's the assistant program manager. Or you guys will get to relate a lot with her, right? You get to relate a lot with her. A bit less with me, but a bit more with her. So, yes, okay. So the next person on my list is. Oh, it's me actually. Okay, for those of you that have been asking my name, yes, okay. Yes, my name is Ihechukwu Achom, and yes, and I am the program manager for BootCamp, right? Yes, this is me. This is the face, and heads up, I'm not a nice guy. Okay, so let's put that out there so that you manage your expectations. Okay, I'm a police officer. In character, don't worry, not in real life. Okay, so yeah, that's me, and I'm going to be managing the program. I'm not going to be training in this cohort. For some of you who know me also as a trainer, yes, I'm actually not going to be training in this cohort. I'm just going to be managing, right? Thank you. So I'm just going to run through so we can round up, and then so for the trainers. Yeah, the very first person on my list is Rufina Hilary. She is going to be the trainer, or she is the trainer for the UI UX UI UX track at the beginner level. Please you can just say hi on the chat. I'm sure people want to actually be able to see you on the chat and just do that. I just want to rush this quick, right? A lot of you guys, of course, you're going to be interacting more with your trainer. So let's manage time. Yeah, she's on the call. Hi. Not all of the persons you're going to see they actually started out from, being a learner, and now they are trainers. We'll talk about the journey. Like there's a lot of things. We have stories, but it's just that we don't have the time, right? So she's going to be the trainer for the UI UX beginner track. And for the intermediate beginner track, UI UX, we have the person of Benjamin Umor. So for the UI UX intermediate learners, here I present to you your trainer. Okay, Benjamin, you're on the call. You can actually just drop a comment and then let them disturb you small on the chat. Okay, so moving on, we have for the Flutter beginner level, we have David Ohimai, a very interesting young man who yeah, someone I actually, let me not praise him too much, that his head is not going to be big. I'm very careful with giving praises. But yeah, he's a good lad. He's smart, he's intelligent, and he's committed, right? And of course, this is a well-deserved position. Of course, he was actually a trainer in the previous cohort. So that goes to tell you how much we are very, very keen on making sure that we bring out the best. And these are persons who have volunteered to also come back, to give back to KodeCamp. So thank you very much, David Oyimai. And then for the intermediate track, we have Collins Nana. So he's going to be handling the Flutter intermediates. Yes, a fine young man. Is actually, I think he's studying biochemistry, right? So you now wonder, Nigeria, biochemistry person is doing mobile app development. Well, the country will do something to you. So yeah, that's going to be, so for the Flutter guys, intermediates, should you actually make it to intermediate, you're going to meet this young man. Yes, he's a young man, but trust me, you have to actually be ready for him, right? Now, moving on to the next is the front end development trainer in the person of Akinoliola Akimbobola. Please, I'm not Yoruba, so permits my pronunciation rather. So he's the front end development trainer. He has been with us for quite a while now, and it's always a joy to actually see people who have been with us keep coming to give back to KodeCamp. Thank you so much, Akim Bobola. Thank you so much. By the way, me and him, we always quarrel, not in the sense of quarrel like playful quarrel. I've told him the day I meet him one-on-one with tear shirt. But he's a very funny lad. He's a good man. Good to have you join us once again. And then we have for the intermediate React, we have the likes of David Edu. This is also an alumni, right? David, fine young man, from KodeCamp trainer, KodeCamp learner to mentor to trainer and getting a job and all that. These are persons who we are really, really proud of whenever we see them, right? And at the same time, they love what we do and they always show up. I think this is the second or third cohort, with us. Thank you very much, David, for always showing up. Yes, respect to you, sir. Respect. Then let's move on to the next. Yes, so for the Python Fast API, yes, your trainer is going to be none other than Mr. Xavier Bassi, who is still an old horse. Yes, he has been with us for quite a while, and he still comes back, right? A very smart young man. Xavier, thank you so much for still showing up. And then for the Node.js backend beginner level, you have your trainer, Victor Ukok, who is still an old horse, right? Still an old horse. Still a joy to see these guys, still come back to deliver. Like still a thing of joy. Thank you so much, Victor. And let's move on to the intermediate Node.js trainer in the person of Christopher. I still struggle to pronounce his surname. So let's leave it at Christopher. Okay, you pronounce the surname in your mind, right? This is a very smart, intelligent young man who, from the first time he held a class, I just knew that this person is the person I would want to handle the Node.js intermediates, if possible forever, right? If possible forever. He has been so committed. He has, I can see the passion in wanting to, give back, in wanting to teach and empower people, right? Thank you very much, Christopher, for still coming back to be with KodeCamp. And then, so making his debut, why am I saying this like this is a football? Making his debut is Gideon, Mr. Gideon. Of course, both him and the track, they are making their debut in 5.0 C Sharp. So this is your trainer for those who registered for the C Sharp backend. None other than Mr. Gideon Edohotu. I want to believe that the G is silent or is the H is silent, right? So Mr. Gideon is going to be handling the backend. Mr. Gideon, please. He has already said good evening. Yeah. Hope we are ready. Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. Right? Yeah, you need to be ready, or you need to be ready for the C Sharp guys. Thank you very much, Gideon, for joining us and also making a debut both in track and in person. For the software testing track, we have Taiwo Buluwatife, who is joining us for the first time. And yeah, and we can't wait to actually see, to gain value, yes, from her. So Taiwo, welcome to the team once again. I'm sure that we're going to have a fun time together. And then, of course, coming back as a track is product management. We had that in 2.0, yeah, but we kind of dropped it, but now it's back. And then, of course, handling that is none other than Miss Hilda Joseph. So she's going to be the trainer for that. Of course, this is someone also, like I said, these are KodeCampers, people who have learned and they are coming to actually give back, right? So Hilda Joseph is going to be handling the product management track. So product managers, here is your trainer, right? And I think one or two more. Yeah. Okay, so for the DevOps, yes, for the DevOps. DevOps, of course, we had that last year, but making his own debut, right, is Mr. Ezekiel Umesi, fine guy, a fine, huge guy. Let me add huge to it, right? Someone says season of debutants. Yeah, season of debutants, right? So yeah, Mr. Ezekiel is going to be handling the DevOps track. For the DevOps guys, you guys are. Let me leave it. Just fill in the blank. Just fill in the blank yourself. But you guys are whatever you actually put down there, right? Okay, and then of course, last but not in soup. Why would you want to go to the somewhat negative side? Why can't you just say you are blessed or you're favored? Okay. And then, of course, the last but not the least is our amiable graphics designer in the person of Mr. Okechukwu Kalu. Of course, this is the team, right? The designs you see, the beautiful designs and much more. It's handled by none other than Mr. Kalu Okechukwu. Mr. Kalu has been with us also for quite a while, right? In fact, he was actually even, he graduated from the UI UX beginner track last year. Yes, good. So it's like it's family, right? KodeCamp is family. KodeCamp is family, and it's always great whenever we have time whenever we come together to give quality. So that is the team. Now we're going to have more persons join us. We're going to have more persons being introduced to us as time goes on. That will be next week, right? Also on the Discord workspace. And those are the mentors, right? We're going to be introducing your mentors, next week. Your mentors are, let me just give a slight difference, right? A slight difference between your trainers and your mentors. So your trainers are the ones who will teach you. They're the ones who gives you tasks, right? Okay, mentors are people who guide you. Okay, so when you're having a challenge, right, you can reach out to your mentor. Your mentor should be like the first line of call, right, for whatever challenge it is that you're having. Okay, so that's just a slight difference. Your mentor is someone you can always reach out to, always go to whenever you're having a challenge. And please, let me say this. One of the things we discourage in KodeCamp, especially in the workspace, in the Discord workspace, is direct messages, also known as DMs. If you are having a challenge, regarding, let's say, a track, your question about probably the learning management system, which I was supposed to talk about, I'll talk about it, right? Maybe the learning management system, maybe about your class, a task that was given. Please make sure to use your track channel. If you're in UI UX, use the UI UX channel. We discourage direct messages, except it is personal, right? Except it is personal, like personal. Okay, not personally task. No, personal. Okay, if not anything, it's a huge stress on the mentor. If 20 persons come to the mentor's DM to ask the same thing, that's a waste of the mentor's time. It's a huge waste. But if one person asks it on the channel, right, and it is addressed there, it also is a way of helping other persons. So please take note of that. In KodeCamp, if you don't be an introvert, you will not succeed. It will be difficult to succeed as an introvert. You need to be able to open your mouth. You need to be able to communicate. You need to be able to ask questions, right? There's this saying in Pidgin English, now who asks questions, no, they lost. What that means is someone who always asks questions finds it difficult to be misguided or lose direction or lose compass or whatever, right? So please be bold enough, right? Bold enough to ask questions, right? And you will get the answers you need. Now, in the next just 2 minutes, I'm going to talk about the learning management system, and then we will go to the Q&A section, right? We'll go to the Q&A session where I will now take questions. Now, in taking of these questions, no, you don't unmute your mic, you raise your hand. Now, listen carefully. Don't unmute your mic till I call you. So if you have a question, you raise your hand, and then I will call you, and then you unmute, right? The moment you unmute without permission, I kick you out of the meeting. Yeah, in KodeCamp, we are disciplined. And we discipline. Let me say that again. In KodeCamp, we are disciplined and we discipline. It's very important because if we don't do that, there will be chaos. Okay, and we don't need chaos, right? We don't need chaos. We need order. Okay, so if you have questions, you can raise your hand now while I just talk quickly about the learning management system, and then I'll address that. I may not respond to questions on the chat. I may not. This is the time for you to leave your comfort zone and open your mouth. Okay? Don't worry, if you have not brushed your mouth, we won't know. Okay? If you haven't, we won't know. So open your mouth and speak. Okay? That was on a lighter note though. Now, your tasks and all that, you're going to be, part of what we're going to be doing from Monday is onboarding you guys on the learning management system. We have a learning management system which you'll be a part of, and that's where your tasks will be uploaded. That's where you're going to submit your assignments and all that, okay, on the learning management system. We'll make that announcement on when that session is going to be held, but it will most likely be held on Monday, right? So this is the time, like I said, Discord should be your WhatsApp, right? Show up every day, like randomly just open Discord. The way you randomly open Instagram that adds little or no value and probably just messes with your mood, as much as we know that there are still jokes there. The way you randomly open up Facebook, the way you randomly open up WhatsApp status and all that, learn to randomly open. Please don't draw on my screen. Please, whenever you join a Zoom meeting, be careful not to touch things. It's not a time in a meeting. It's not a time to do trial by error. Okay, so please just make sure that you show up. Check it randomly, right, so that you don't miss out on anything. Do you know what? One of the reasons I say it is because when something is addressed and you come in late and you ask that same question, I will give you a weird response and you may not like it. Actually, some people who know me, they know, right? I will give you a very, very funny response, especially if it's something that has been addressed 2, 3, 4 chats ahead, right? 2, 3, 4 chats ahead, and then you just show up and you did not read, I'll give you a funny response. Okay. So please try as much as possible to show up. Turn on your notification on Discord and make sure you are listen. So by Monday, the time, everything will be communicated, probably tomorrow, right? You get before Monday, you should get an itinerary of how the week is going to look like. But the onboarding for the learning management system is going to be done, so you get to know how to sign up. For those of you who probably have been on the learning management system, I'm sure you know how to do it, right? But please take notes, okay? If there's something you're not sure of, please ask questions and note this. Whatever you register as your track on the learning management system, there is no going back. There's no going back, okay? Just note that there is no going back. And then there's also a timeline as to when we will stop people from signing up on the LMS. So time is also a major currency in BootCamp. We don't have all the time in the world, right? It's a 4 months BootCamp, so we can't wait for you. So you have to chase after us. As much as we will chase after you, right? Let's chase each other. That's just it. That's the best way to succeed. We chase each other. Okay. So I think that's just something that's just very brief. Okay. Don't worry about the LMS. We will communicate. We'll onboard you guys. We'll make sure you're ready for the classes. Officially, actually, the kick off or kicks off, whichever one. Okay. So thank you very much. So I'm going to take questions. So let me do this, right? Because of time. So I'm going to hand over to my boss, and then we'll round up. We should turn this off by 9 p.m. West African time. So I'm going to take just 5 questions, right? So 4 hands are raised already. 4 hands are raised already. So I'll take 5 questions. So maybe if 5th hand will be raised or something. So let's start. So for those who raise your hand, you'll get a prompt on your Zoom telling you to unmute, okay? Then you can unmute. Okay, so I'll start with Hadia Badmos. You can go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Please, sir, it seems when you were talking about like the structure of the lesson of the CodeCamp rather, you talked about Discord, I think. Then you said, like, when we log into Discord, if I'm not wrong, that you will be able to like see us. Like, I don't mean like everybody that joins that. Okay, maybe if you like you're on bed or so, it seems like you gave that example that you'll be able to like see us. Like, hope I'm not wrong, because I don't know, I'm just like kind of uncomfortable with the fact that I will log in and the person will be like, everybody's going to be able to see me. I don't know, maybe if it is you or others. I'm not sure if that.
Okay. So that's not Discord. Okay. I was speaking specifically to, and let me make it a bit generic. So it's not just about BootCamp, but you may find yourself anywhere joining meetings online, right? That actually have the video call feature, likes of Zoom, Google Meet and all that, right? It's sometimes it's a possibility that in the setting of the Zoom meeting, right, that there's actually a way for whoever set it up to state that, okay, whoever joins this meeting, the video should automatically be on. There's such a setting, right? Now, I'm not saying it is set for us, okay? I'm just saying there's such a setting, okay? That's one. Secondly, in the process of joining, you also may mistakenly activate the video. Just like people mistakenly activate audio, and all of a sudden we'll hear that they're in the marketplace, and we'll start hearing a whole lot of, hey, 50 naira, 100 naira, buy your singlet, buy this and all that, okay? So what I was saying is this: when you join a call, be very, very observant to make sure that you are muted. Your audio is muted and your video is disabled, so that we don't see you. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
it doesn't. There is no part of KodeCamp are settings that actually activates your video. We don't do that, right? Currently, when we're on the call, what made me address that is because someone on the call, someone's video on the call was actually on, and I was actually seeing the person's room, but that's not us. That the person activated
Oh,
it
no.
mistakenly. You understand? It can happen. These things happen.
No.
You understand? So that's why I brought that up. So we don't have. You're safe with us. You're safe in KodeCamp. And that functionality is not Discord, of course. We don't. Of course, well, Discord actually has the video functionality for video calls and all that. But you're safe with us. We don't invade your privacy. All I'm saying is protect your own privacy. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
All right, sir.
Okay. Next person is Emmanuel. Yeah, Emmanuel, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Okay, my question is, I got a email. I'm trying to sign up for the LMS, but I noticed there is my track is not there, which is DevOps. I can only see 4 tracks, UI, UX, and 3 other ones, maybe front end, Java, React, or something like that. But DevOps is not there.
Did you click on beginner or you clicked on intermediate?
I think intermediate.
Yeah, click on beginner. Like I said, there's no DevOps intermediate.
Oh, thank you very much for the help, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, Mary Jane. Sorry, Mary Jane, please. Let me talk it on mute. Mary Jane.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good evening. Thank you very much. I would like to thank the organizers of this program. I appreciate. My question is that does it have a mark, like attendance for the live section? Is it part of what is used to check the graduate or not? Can you choose?
Okay. Okay, let me say this. Attendance is important. Okay. Not attending classes. Of course, there's a whole lot you're going to miss out. I'm going to mute you now because your background is a bit noisy. When I'm done, I'll probably ask you to unmute in case to be sure that I've responded. Okay, so attendance is actually important. Of course, if you actually miss the live classes, right, some things you may watch on YouTube, you may have questions and you may ask on the group, it may not be well explained, or maybe you may not get it. It's just this benefit of joining classes, right? So in the classes stage, well, if you miss a class, it doesn't have a direct impact on, you moving to the next stage based on, okay, fine, we'll now mark your attendance. Mary Jane, she did not attend class on so day, mark her bad or give her -1. Okay. But when you get to the project phase, attendance is a very, very high requirement. Like very, very high requirement, if you want to actually be certified. Okay. So let me just, so does that answer your question? You can unmute.
Yes, it does. But I have another one. I have another question. It's
Okay.
concerning the Python Fast API. Like you explained, you said you're just going to go straight. The Python API is just going to go straight to Fast API. So there's no like beginning of the Python following through to the Fast API.
Yeah, of course, of course, the language will be taught before the framework.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, Temitope, go ahead. Temitope, go ahead. Adedeji, hold on. Temitope, are you there? We have barely 5 minutes for this session. Please, quickly. Okay. So let's go to George. George,
Okay, good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, George.
So I registered for the code camp and joined the Discord, but I did not get any mail. I want to ask, is it normal?
Okay. Sorry, when did you register, please?
Today.
Today. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, you get a mail.
Okay,
It's not normal.
okay,
Okay, you get a mail. Okay, yeah. But as far as you're on the Discord, you're good to go. Okay, but
okay,
you will also get a mail.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. Mary Ann, go ahead, please.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Okay, I registered for last previous cohort, so I don't know if I can still use the same login credential for the new cohort. Or
Yes, you
should I
can. Yes, you can. You can. You
Okay,
don't have
but
to create another
it's
account.
not, but it's two of them is different tracks. Like the one I did last previous one is not the same track I'm applying
Yeah,
for.
hold on. When you actually when you log in, you get a prompt, all right, about the new cohort, right? When you are signing up on the new cohort, you can choose a different track. Okay?
Okay.
Do you understand?
No.
Okay. When you log in, okay, you'll see a prompt, okay, a pop-up telling you about the new cohorts, right? And then when you join it and you sign up, in signing up, right, you get to actually put the track you are signing up for. So even if in 4.0 you're in React, in 5.0 you can be in UI UX.
Okay, I tried logging in today, but there is no prompt. The prompt did not come up because I got
Try
email.
again. Try again. Try again. Try again.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes. Okay. Abdullahi Mohammed. Are these hands increasing or reducing? This is funny. We don't have all the time in the world. Mohammed, go ahead, please. Hurry up.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for doing this platform.
Can you please be a bit more audible, please?
All right. Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, much better.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Like I said, thank you very much for the platform you guys have presented to us, and we would try our best not to take it for granted. So my quick question is, for people who work 9 to 5, and my question is, how would we be able to juggle it with the schedule? And when it comes to mandatory attendance, how can we cope around it? Is there going to be a way that we can provide evidence that we were actually doing something, which led us not to be in probably in a mandatory class? So I just wanted to get clarification on that. So it won't be like when it's not our fault. We actually have the 95 that we're doing. So I don't know. I believe you get my point.
Yeah,
I just wanted to.
I get your point, right?
All right.
So the way you asked it the first time, I wanted to just tell you to go to our YouTube channel, go to 4.0. You see where I did a video on time management. Someone
Okay.
asked that question and I handled that. Okay. So I don't need to ask you, and I will not, especially during classes, not in project phase. See, during project phase, I don't take excuses. I actually don't. My
Okay.
grandmother came back from the grave. We had to go and wash her and bring her out. I don't listen. Like all of a sudden, hellfire opened and we had to close the door. I don't listen, right? But during the classes, see, I understand, and we are not saying leave your job, okay? And I will not ask you for evidence. I don't have that time. You understand? Okay, but so if you skip a class because you're busy, that's why we upload the classes to YouTube. You can always go to YouTube and pick up and learn, and but of course the deadline for tasks is not going to change because you are working. It's not.
Definitely.
Let me also answer for those who probably say I'm a student. It will not also the deadline will not change because you're also a student and you have a final year project. Okay, we don't bend the rules. because the moment you start for one, you have to do for all. Okay, so that's just that. But if you really need help in how do you really manage it, I would say you should just check out that video on time management, goal setting and time management, right? But maybe within the week also, I could also have another session on that too. Thank you very much. So for whoever is buying PC computers, please put a name, even if it's a false name, before I'll call you. I can't open my mouth and say buy PC computers. It doesn't make any sense. Please rename, okay? Use a name, even if it's a false name, even the name is a lie, right? It's even better you put Lucifer for me than you put buy PC computers. Okay, Rosalind, please go ahead.
Good evening. Sorry, I messaged you the other time that I had issue locating my group, or yes, the Fluster. And also I've not been able to follow the announcement community. So I don't know if there is a way you can put me through.
Okay, so this is Discord related now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So okay, you sent a screenshot, if I'm not mistaken, on the chat, right? Now on your channel, do you see the community announcements channel? Do you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, good. No, you can see it. It's not something you can chat on. Don't worry. Announcement channels are not something you chat on. It's just a read only. Okay, it's not. So think of it like a WhatsApp group that the admin says that has this setting of only admin can post. Think of it that way. Okay, so since you have that, don't worry. Next week a date and a time will be communicated to walk you guys through Discord. Okay, so just that's the only channel you should just focus on for now. Okay, we'll walk you guys through everything you need. Like if all of you go to that playlist I'm talking about, the 4.0 playlists, everything you need is there. But we will still have some of those sessions next week to better guide you guys. Okay, well, that's basically just going to kickstart the office hour and all that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Abiola, please go ahead. Let's do this quickly. Abdul Salam, Abdul Basit, Abiola. Okay, Abiola is not available. Okay, Donald Uko. Or is it Uko or Uko? Donald, you can unmute and ask your question.
Please, I wanted to ask, how about the people that registered for the LMS for the BootCamp 4.0? How do they get the staff for 5.0?
Okay, I already addressed that. Just log into the workspace. If you already have an account, just log into the workspace. You get a modal pop-up, a prompt that lets you know about the 5.0. Just sign up and you're in. That's for those who already have signed on the LMS. That's for those of you who joined in 4.0.
Okay, can I do that now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I registered for the bootcamp, but I was unable to. I didn't receive any mail, and I was unable to register for the on the elements.
When did you register?
I think it will be up to a month now. Since last month, it will be close to a month.
Check your mail. Check. When last did you check your mail? Have you checked your mail? Mails were actually sent out. So check your mail, maybe check your spam or whatever, but mails were sent out. But I'll take note. Do you know how to send a direct message to me on this Zoom? Do you know how to do that with your email?
Okay.
Okay. I'll just confirm that. Glory Machi. Glory, go ahead quickly.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. So I want to ask a question. I think the other person spoke about people that have 9 to 5 and so I don't know if anyone on this call is going to be in my situation where there's NYSA camp that's going to be like 3 weeks. You have to like attend, right? So you also spoke about, you need to deliver your tags. I don't know how the tax is going to be, if it's going to be like a weekly thing or a monthly thing. So for those sets of people or set of persons that are not going to be with their laptop at that point, how are those people going to navigate that phase of the camp? Thank you.
Okay, so for those of you, thank you for actually. That's a very peculiar situation that we actually handle. It's a special case that we actually handle for those who are going to, going for their 3 weeks camp. So what we'll do is I'm going to drop an information, right? I'll drop a notice or still on the announcement channel. First things first, I need to identify those persons, and then there's a process for them. Now, the process does not, it's not a process that helps them to avoid the task, but just to give them a bit of just to make it a bit flexible. And it's just for after that 3 weeks. If you're the one that decides not to come back, maybe because you love where you're staying or you want to extend your own NYSC to 4 weeks, you're on your own. What we know is the 3 weeks, and we will need proof of it. Yes, we'll need proof of it. So by next week also, I'm going to address that. I'll get to know those who going for camp, right? And the dates of that, and then of course a proof of that. I need to be sure so that you're not probably lying to me just because you're trying to be smart. Okay, so I'll address that then. I won't tell you what's the process now, right? But once we identify you guys, then I'll intimate you guys on how we actually do that. I hope that answers your question. I'm going to just run to Ifechukwu Nwachukwu. Okay, Ifechukwu, go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, sir. So I logged into LMS and I registered for the Node.js beginners track. So on the in the website, I went to the profile section, and then the basic info is showing that my track is unknown. So
Log
then,
out and log in or refresh. You're a tech person, Ifechukwu. I know you. I know you.
Okay, showing, sorry.
Oh, Ifechukwu. Ifechukwu has cast herself. Ifechukwu, I know you. Okay, George and Adedeji, go ahead. George.
Sorry, sir, for you said something about sending mail now.
Okay. Is there a question in that statement?
No, you said send a DM or someone. I don't understand.
You have not asked a question. Okay, you actually don't have a question. Okay, thank you. Ede Gift. Gifts, are you there? Okay, if you're not.
Yes. Good evening, all. Good evening,
Okay,
sir.
good evening. Yeah.
Okay. I registered for this area, but I've not received any mail. So that's the
Okay,
question.
let me just make this. Let me say this generally. For those of you who said you have not received a mail, okay, you will receive a mail. But if you're on the Discord, you are good to
Yes.
go.
All
Okay.
right.
Yes.
All right.
So please, if there's anybody that your hand is raised and is about mail, please you receive a mail. Okay. Please. Thank you. Okay. Maxwell.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Please, I want to confirm something because while registering, there was a part when I wanted to choose my track. There was a part that made a comment regarding whether I'm using a phone, or a laptop. So I want to ask if the track I'm about to choose will depend on whether I'm using a phone or a laptop.
The track you're about to choose. I'm not a soothsayer and I don't know the track you're about to choose.
I'm choosing Node.js.
Go and buy a laptop. Go and buy, borrow, inherit, loan, hire purchase, by whatever means. Okay?
All right, sir. Thanks.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay, the last person, Blessing, and I hand over. We round up. Yes, Blessing, go ahead.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay. This thing, is more of a. I'd like to understand the schedule between different projects. Like for me, like my laptop is currently bad, and I recently bought my younger sister a laptop. So that's what I'm using right now. So I want to know how the schedule is between she doing her own program and me doing my own program. Because I'm doing backend for Python, and she's doing UI UX. So I'd like to know how the schedule is going to be, so that I will know how I'll be able to schedule ourselves when there's time for projects or classes. Would the time for classes, are they going to be the same or they will differ?
I almost wanted to tell you I cannot help you. Okay. First of all, you're sharing your laptop. That's cute. Okay. Couple goals. I know it's your sister, don't worry. Classes are not going to be the same. They are different tracks. The timetable was actually dropped, right?
Okay.
It's actually available on the announcement channel, so you can check that out. Okay. As far as task deadlines, project phase, and all that, that's up to you guys. Okay. It's you guys have to figure out how to how to manage your time such that both of you deliver. It's going to be demanding. That's the truth, right? The beginning phase might feel like it's something you can handle, but the more both of you progress, it's going to be tough. There's going to be a high demand on each of you to deliver. So you guys just have to actually make it work.
And no
Okay,
problem.
I don't know. I don't.
Before then I'll get a new laptop or something, or I'll fix my laptop.
Good one. That's a much better plan.
Okay.
That's a much better plan.
Another thing again, concerning this camp stuff, my sister too, but we're not sure about it. What if she's going to camp? We should contact you, or you find a way about it?
I think I addressed that. Those who are going for camp, I'll reach out to them next week.
Okay.
I need to be sure of those
Okay.
persons. I need proof. So you basically
Okay,
show
no
me your
problem.
is it call up later they call it for those who have served?
Yeah, I'll call up later. She already has her own.
Good. Good. I would
Yeah,
love
no
to see it.
problem.
When it's
Yeah, no
time, I'll
problem.
address it.
Okay,
Okay, I think the last person is I don't know what BT means, please. So don't unmute until you have changed, put a name, please, even if it's a false name. Okay? Even if it's a false name. So you have just 10 seconds to do that and raise your hand before I end the question session, the Q&A. Someone is counting down for you. You guys are not serious. Okay, and the 10 seconds is complete. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, right? Don't worry, I know you still have a whole lot of questions, right? You can still ask your questions on the Discord channel, we'll respond. But of course, from next week, we'll make sure that everybody is cool. Like you have everything you need, every information is available. We'll onboard you guys so you don't have much to worry about. Next, for those raising their hand in the comments, next time it's not in the comments. Don't raise your hand in the comments, okay? So at this time, for the closing remark, I'm going to call on Engineer Lawrence to introduce the our Oga at the top, who is going to take the closing remark. Like I said, I don't know how to do it. I really need to take a course for it, right? Sometimes you get to know someone and you're just overwhelmed, right? And I've still not been able to, as tough as I think I am, I've still not been able to shake it off. But I will one day. Maybe one day I'll step into the shoes or step into the light and be able to stand and say it, okay, and introduce it much better. Okay, so Engineer Lawrence, if you're there, I'm sure you can hear me.
I'm
Yes,
here.
over to you.
Okay, it's good. I like doing it because it's something I'm proud of. So I'm going to share my screen as usual, just to, because even me alone cannot do it without the help of a screen. So yeah, it's very simple. Engineer Ebert Udo. I'm glad to add FNS. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He has spent 18 years in ExxonMobil and he was past chairman of Nigerian Society of Engineers, okay, branch. This is actually a core engineer because there's nothing about tech that he does not know. In fact, that's the vision. Why I'm putting that is this is the vision behind whatever you are saying today. Sorry, let me say, let me see if I can hide this stuff that's blocking. Okay. All right. I think I should hide this as well. Hide floating. Okay. So I have the freedom now. So Regenerate is someone that has been renowned, in this whole tech thing. See, there is this tech rave recently, maybe in the last 10 years, and he's not among those that came out, the likes of the people that started the whole Andela thing and made it very popular and all. It's because at some point tech started paying very well and people jumped on it. We got to know about front end, back and everything. Genevieve is not like that though. He has been in this tech industry for more than 32 years. That is the truth. If you look at this, you will see, how can I hide this guy? You will see that he developed this interest in 1992. I don't know where some of us were in 1992 as a JS3 student. So you see, there is this thing about special people. While others were preparing for junior egg, he's more interested in programming. He went to library, picked up a book, and he was fascinated about the idea of telling computer what to do. So he didn't start with HTML, CSS, he started with the core, doing all the MS DOS and everything. And that's why it's very good because it's difficult to find someone with that level of experience. So he grew to, from those kind of languages, C++, he did C, so you can see it's crazy. PHP, C++, Python, Java, Kotlin, JavaScript, Node.js, mention it. So it's like, when somebody is very core in this tech, to learn a programming language, going to like maybe just maybe a week, because it's all about changes in syntax. The algorithm and data structure remains the same. The whole concept of programming is the same. So that is actually the backbone for Codehouse, that's like, is a treasure that, we kind of hold so dear because he has accepted to transfer this knowledge. So when Kudas was in the nascent stage, he created 3 departments and taught the 3 departments. So people do not think that he's not he's just Oga. No, he's a different kind of Oga because I'm going to show you some pictures now, some throwbacks. This was him in 2012 and 2013. So how many of you actually, would have started thinking about it? You can see if you look deep into that slide, you see where it's talking about HTML, CSS, and tags and stuff like that. So he is hands-on. He mentored a lot of people. Most of these people now are doing very, very well. He continued this session under the Nigerian Society of Engineers, as the technical secretary. So he kept on doing this thing. At that point, people were looking for oil and gas job. People were not really very interested. So he kept on telling them, tech is the future, tech is the future, how I wish, we understood. So these are more of the pictures, he's just passionate about this whole thing. So what you see in CodeCamp is a reflection of his own vision, of currently he's going to talk about tech pipeline. That's what he's trying to do. So these are some of the pictures, I just want to show these things so that because this is the first time I'm showing it in CodeCamp. So that you guys will know whenever we talk with okay, that's Lawrence there, and me coming to join, to have equally, contributed a little bit to the whole journey. And right now, we don't even have time to do the coding again. And that's what is going to be your story. The more you grow, the more you move away from, you go from more managerial stuff and all that. So whenever you can see Ike is no longer going to be teaching in this particular cohort. He taught in 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0. Gradually now, I'm not sure
I'm not sure how far he's going to continue being the program manager. So that's how life is, you keep on growing and stuff like that. We even had some guy, Baba Tope, that is currently the CEO of Black Force in Canada. So, he was here with us doing all these things. So that's the engineer for you. He has invested in this program. So I'll stop here. I'll now call him in. Now you know what he's all about. He stood for quality education, decent work, and economic growth, and of course, innovation and infrastructure development and all that. So I think that's pretty the all I can. There are more. I don't want to continue in these slides. So I will save it for another day when we have time. We'll go through all the things Janabe has done. So thank you so much. I think I will stop sharing now. So I will use this opportunity to invite engineer Aniebet Odo, fellow the Nigerian Center of Engineers, to take the floor.
Wow. Okay, thank you very much, Lawrence. I don't know who can do that introduction better than that. Thank you, and good evening, everyone. How are we doing? I'm seeing a lot of old faces here, people that I knew in 4.0 and 3.0. So I hope you guys are enjoying the experience and you're coming back for more. Um, so whenever I have to talk about CodeCamp, I like to just show one image and I'm going to talk about it. So I'm going to share my screen. And then after that, of course, I'll talk about this. And then after that, we can close. So you see this image. I hope we can all see this image, right? If you go to the
Yeah, we can.
Discord, yeah, you will see in the forum channel. So go into the forum channel. That's actually how I got it. So let me even back off a little bit so that we can see, right? So yeah, on Discord, you go to forum discussion. You actually see this image here. And if you look at it, I actually posted this in 2022, September 6th. This was CodeCamp 2.0. And the question I asked was, how can we grow and scale CodeCamp community? That was when we started talking about this. So some of you, I think you've already seen this already before. Now, I may ask a question, and I would like people to answer in the chat. Why are you in CodeCamp? Just answer me in the chat. Why do you waste your time or spend your time? What are you doing? What do you want to achieve? What is your ambition? What is your objective? Ultimately, I think everyone that comes to tech, you're coming because you want, yes, the very good person, the very first person answered the question, right? You want to get a good job. That's the summary of it. Then from good job, financial freedom. Yes, I can also see financial freedom. We all want to have that financial independence to be able to, get whatever you need in life, at least to within a certain range. And we have all come to realize that tech does it. And like Lawrence has said in the last slide, this is something I knew over 20 years ago, 20, 25, 30 years ago. I already knew that there were opportunities in tech. And I spent the last 20, 25 years, 30 years trying to convince everyone that I could meet, go into tech so that this country, Africa, not just Nigeria, Africa, generally, globally, but specifically Nigeria and Africa, we are spending a lot of time learning knowledge for jobs that have passed away, jobs that have died. Those jobs don't exist anymore. But the jobs that currently exist, we are not gaining the knowledge for it. And that was what kept driving me. People kept graduating from school. They will spend 4 years, 5 years. You go and do one course. You either because that's what they gave me, or that's what my father wanted me to do. Or there are three categories of people when you get a course after you write jam. It's either is what I wanted to do. The percentage of such is very few, very small, or that's what my father or my mother wanted me to do, or the worst of them, that's what they gave me. So when you now pick a course, you spend 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and then you come out, and that skill that you learn, that knowledge, that certificate, you cannot get a job with it. You could have gotten a job maybe 10, 20 years ago in my time, or 30 years ago, or 40 years ago. But in today's time, there's no company that is ready to bring you in and start training you again from scratch. Maybe some good companies, maybe oil and gas and banks and a few, they can employ you and they still train you. But in tech, there's no company that will employ you and train you. They employ you, they expect you to be ready to solve their problem. So how will you be able to do that? And we have identified that problem. That's why we have KodeCamp. Yes, there are a whole bunch of other boot camps, but there is none that has what we call a tech talent pipeline. What's a tech talent pipeline? That's what this pyramid here represents. Even the pipeline goes from right to left, but our own from top to bottom or from bottom to top. You can see number 5. Every one of you on this call, you are at number 5, getting into the community. What is a community? That's a CodeCamp community. Right now, our community exists on Discord. So if you're on Discord, you're already in the community. You've already started the journey, right? And if you're in Discord, you will notice that there are a bunch of other people who have been there longer, they've matured, they've grown. Then we have what we call CodeCamp self-paced, which self-paced is basically you learning on your own. Okay. And then we have CodeCamp BootCamp, which is what we are opening today. The opening ceremony of 5.0. 5.0 is BootCamp 5.0. Because people used to think that CodeCamp is just a bootcamp. No, the bootcamp is just one aspect of it. It's a bootcamp that has numbers, CodeCamp, BootCamp 1.0, 2.0, and so on. And this is BootCamp 5.0. And that's why we call it bootcamp. It's regimented. You have to follow the rules. It's like army barracks. Think of it that way, you know. So after bootcamp, in this bootcamp, we have beginners, we have intermediates. If you came as a beginner, you master one area, whichever track you choose. Next year, you come back, you can now go into intermediate in that same area. And then when you are done, you can go for internship. We don't give internship to beginners, even though sometimes we do. For some exceptional beginners, you have opportunity to do internship. But if not, we really reserve internship for intermediate finalists when you finish, right? The internship is opportunity for you to gain experience because you cannot really gain much experience from bootcamp or from staying at home and doing your GitHub or your Behance or whatever. Doing things on your own at home is totally different from working in a team and trying to solve real world problems with other human beings, trying to meet up deadlines. Those who have done internship and those who are still doing internship now, they know what I'm talking about. So in order to make it reach as many people as possible, we have unpaid internship. And the reason why we have unpaid internship is we want to get more people in. If we had a paid if we are doing paid internship, the number will be less because we cannot afford to pay everyone or as many people as we would have loved to have hands-on experience. So we created unpaid internship that lasts for 3 months. During the unpaid internship, we can bring in as many people as possible. Last year, we had almost 60 people that came in for unpaid internship. And then after unpaid internship, we have a paid internship, which runs for 6 months. And during that 6 months, we pick the best, right? And even after that, there's still opportunity. So this is a cycle. This whole 3 and 2 is a cycle you continue to do. 4 months boot camp, 3 months internship unpaid, maybe 6 months paid internship. That's a whole year. In that year, you have grown. If at the end of that year, you are not good enough to get a job, you come back into the next boot camp, maybe as intermediate, or you learn a new skill, and then you go through it again, right? And then when you come out, maybe you come out as intermediate, you are much better. There is no way you will cycle through these steps 3 and 2 without very soon being able to get a job, and that is 1. Moving from 3 to 1 takes time. But the way we have structured CodeCamp means that in 2 years, if you are very smart, very intelligent, and very focused, in 2 years, you can go from a 0 to a hero. You can actually get a remote job, at least an internship, a remote internship. We actually have people who have done it. So this one is not just talk. We have proven it. Now, you have to layer this on top of what Lawrence presented earlier in terms of AI. So what will you, as a junior developer or an intern, do now that AI, you are fighting against AI, you're competing with AI? But that's a subject for another discussion. So CodeCamp is a talent pipeline. It's not just a bootcamp of 4 months. It's a whole framework, and its purpose is to get you to where you want to be. But you have to be there for it, and you have to want it, because it's not going to be easy. So I just wanted to put this for everyone. Let this be your motivation so that you know that I'm doing this for something, and there's a clear path to it. CodeCamp gives me a clear path. That's what you know. There's a clear path, but that path, like they say, is a narrow path. So you have to work hard for it. So I think I'll just stop there. A lot has been said, and it's already very late. So I will just end this by mentioning that we've done 5 iterations. This is the 5th iteration of CodeCamp. It's getting better and better, and it's getting more and more polished. We've had a lot of sponsors who have supported us over the years, and they continue to sponsor us. We have partners. We actually have people right now who are looking into CodeCamp to get their next batch of interns or their next batch of staff or trainees or junior developers or designers, right? Or project, management, software testers. We have people who are coming to CodeCamp. Well, CodeCamp. So take this very seriously. Take CodeCamp very seriously. Take your self-development very seriously, because you'll be very glad you did. Maybe at some later time, we'll show you some of the people who have passed through. There are a couple of them amongst you right now, who are even in this call, who can even be a testimonial to show you that this thing is real. This thing is real. We are not just telling stories here. So some of the sponsors whom I would like to mention include we have Nick Madden, whom I really want to mention. Nick Madden is the founder and CEO of Rapid River. So Rapid River is an American company that has supported CodeCamp, previously, and continues to support, and basically also provides opportunities for our interns to have, places where they can do internships, both, in fact, mostly remote internships, right? So I also want to recognize another sponsor, Sam Bagwat. Sam Bagwat, he was the CEO of a company called Kepler, but now he's the CEO, co-founder of a company that is called Mastra. Now, Mastra is building AI, an AI agent framework with TypeScript. So we have a couple of other people. We have Bankole, we have Segun Alagwe, we have Anthony Okoro, we have Ryan Dalkey, who has also been a sponsor and also is very interested in giving opportunities to interns to do jobs, remote jobs, right? We have Engineer Christopher Imeto, we have Dr. Emmanuel Okon, we have Okweoluwa Wonola, we have Eseogene Emoraye, we have Olalekon Adeaga, we have Sheriff Dean Abdul Rahim, we have Chilo Wokoro, we have Chinonso Swago, we have Nsika Kata, we have Scott Amboma, we have Ejiro Gene Ekwebube, we have Dr. Clement Obadimo, Emmanuel Gerald, we have Patrick Udor, we have Anselm Obunagafo, we have Michael Aku, who spoke earlier during this, and then we have Fidelis, and a whole lot of other people. We have Marquesian as well, which most of us will know him as the CEO of Hotels.ng and HNG Tech, right? And he is the whole sponsor and the primary mentor, chief mentor of HNG Internship. We have Anedi Udobon, who was to be here with us today, but he couldn't make it. Anedi Udobon works at Google in the US, and he is primarily like responsible for GDG and all of the Google innovations that we have in Nigeria, right? And then we also have Oge Nwaife, who is the executive director of ISN. And then we also have Ugochi Amugo, who is the general manager of Tech. So these are companies that have been supporting us. A bunch of others, like Nsika Ata is a chief innovation officer of Innovantics. So when I mention these names, they may sound like people you don't know, right? But these are the people behind the scenes who make CodeCamp happen. Because you will asking yourself, why is CodeCamp free? How is CodeCamp free? It's because there are people who believe in the vision, and there are people who believe in what you can achieve. The only barrier is a paywall. And we have decided we want to remove that paywall, because if we put a paywall and say you have to pay so and so amount of money to do CodeCamp, the number of people who will register will drop drastically, and the number of people who benefit will drop drastically. So we have decided it's deliberate that CodeCamp should be free. But later on, yes, as you progress and become better, you begin to recognize and realize the value of all this training. And you also be able to afford it because maybe you are making some money and then you will pay for training. So we really appreciate all of these people, all of these companies. I also remember Bonita's group, Engineer Somto Chukwu Meziokeye, and there are many, right? There are many, and we will maybe some of you will get to meet some of these people who have continued to support CodeCamp. So please always remember there is somebody in the background that has been responsible for making CodeCamp accessible to all of you, to everyone, and it's good to thank those people. So I think that's it. I'll close it at this point. Thank you very much. IK, back to you, Lawrence.
Yeah, I get back to you. I'm passing
Yeah,
the
sure.
ball back the way the thing came.
Who will I say back to you to now? Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Nieves, for that closing remark. Okay, so yeah, we have a culture in CodeCamp. Whenever we do an opening ceremony or a closing ceremony, we have what we call the picture session, right? Yes, yeah, picture session. So it's our own virtual photo shoot, right? So when you do a meetup physically, you get out to take pictures. Yeah, so we do ours virtually. So at this point, I'm going to ask that you can, for those of you, you can unmute, you can activate your video. Would love to see your face. If I hope your face is facing, if you're in a dark corner, well, I'm sorry, you can actually leave it. We actually want to see the light. Okay, so but at this point, I want to see my people right now. I want to see my code campers, and for the very first time in opening ceremony, I'm actually going to show my own face. For the very first time in the opening ceremony, I'm always very, very skeptical. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm shy. Some people will not believe it. Some people will start arguing.
Hey, bro.
So it's just video I asked for. It's just video, not audio. Okay, just video. Okay. Where's my video? Okay. Yeah. Good. Great. So let's see the beautiful faces, the beautiful handsome faces. I can see Donald. Dave, why the way you're smiling like you're seeing your missing rib? Please, you came here to code. Concentrate. Okay. Yeah, Ian, I see you. Abdul Latif, Old Horse, I see you. Welcome back. Michael Bede, I see you. Juliet, Bowles. Wear shirts now. Wear shirts. All these sexy guys. All these guys that want to show themselves. Please, this learn we came to learn. We came to learn. David Edo, I see you. Alexandra, good to see you. Yeah, so at this point, yeah, you can take screenshots. It's a photo shoot session, right? Joshua, I see you. Who again? We are the bold people that are sharing. Some persons are very shy, so let's leave them, no problem. Some are beautifully made, some are wonderfully made, some are fearfully made, some are made, right? Whichever one, right? We are proud of you. David Ohimai, I see you. I see you. Tibenabu. I don't know if I got that very well, right? Did I get that? Did I try? I tried, right? Good to have you. I'm interested. Please pronounce your name. I'm interested. On mute. Please pronounce your name. I'm interested. Someone is in Nepal, don't take my right.
It's Tibenabui.
Tibenabui. Sorry, where are you from?
It's Tibenabui.
Yes, Tibenabui. From where?
Plateau.
From Plateau States. Now, that's one state you don't actually hear very much, right? That's one state you don't hear very much. Good to have you. Mazi, Chief. The Chief one. Yes, the Mazi. Yes, I hear you, sir. I hear you, sir. I greet you. Abijah Maxwell, Emrin, I see you. Divine, Isaac, Francisca, you're back. You're back. I'll just leave it at your back. I'll leave it there. I won't go further. Ladies and gentlemen, Francisca Chibuike, if you have a kid, if you have a young person you need an online tutor, just meet her. She's good at what she does. See, I've done marketing for you. You understand? Do small percentage. Okay, everyone, thank you very, very much. I'm sure our photographers have actually taken some good shots. Our virtual photographers, yes, I'm sure. So you can take that, you can share on your status. Finally, please do well to follow us on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, right? And whenever you're making a post, please make sure to use the hashtag KodeCamp 5.0, Code House, and building the skill economy. I look forward to a wonderful, intensive, stressful, because it will be stressful, I'll tell you the truth. Annoying, because it will be annoying some days. Stepping on toes. What else? But it's also going to be fun. I look forward to the next 4 months with you guys, and I hope to see these faces again. During the closing ceremony as certified, not just finalists, but certified finalists. So do well to be on Discord. Like I said, Discord should be your WhatsApp, should be your new WhatsApp, and yeah, from tomorrow there'll be communications and information dropped on the announcement channel. Any question you have, please do well to ask on the Discord, and you will actually get an answer. Shegun, thank you very much. I see you. Ede Gift, I see you also with the wonderful person behind you. Yes, I see you. Isaac, I see you also. I see you. Isaac Ijenwa, I see you. When you're done, please you seem hungry a bit or stressed. Which of them? You need urgent 2K. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. This is where we actually round it up. A big thank you. And yeah, look forward to doing greater things and much bigger things with you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful night ahead. Bye, everyone.